So we at Artsmart are beginning to look at education through a trauma-informed lens. Knowing that New Mexico, along with Arizona, children experience the highest levels or incidence of adverse childhood experiences. Those are potentially traumatic experiences, including disruption with a primary caregiver of that relationship, or abuse, neglect, poverty, hunger, all the things that come along with poverty. Basically, adverse childhood experiences create a sense of toxic stress, which is a medical term used to describe the spike in stress hormones that people and children in particular experience that can have potentially long-lasting changes on the neuroarchitecture, on the architecture of the brain. Experiencing toxic stress chronically, chronic adversity and stress contributes to what we call, or what is called, the survival brain. And forgive the simple illustrations, but you'll see the brain on the right, on your right. The brainstem there, it looks inflamed, just to show that when people are in survival brain, they're in fight or flight, or there are other forms of like fight, flight, freeze, and submit are the four kind of responses to traumatic stress. But the main thing about being in survival brain is that it can be impossible to pay attention. And if a child can't pay attention, what can't they do? So anxiety and depression were lowered by self-compassion practice. And this is because self-compassion taps into this mammalian caregiving system, the system of warmth and tenderness and protection that calms the fight or flight brain, allows people to feel safe, and therefore access the learning brain. So we aim to really create classrooms that establish an amazing sense of safety. We introduce self-compassion practices. This is self-compassion sloth here, developed by one of our arts instructors. And these are tools that we use in the classroom to teach attitudes and mindsets of self-compassion. And what's amazing is that the students learn them, and then they start to help regulate each other. So if someone starts to become hard on themselves, because children have picked up a lot of self-judgment, and trying to make art is, as you probably know as an adult, is a vulnerable thing. And students in our culture see so many things that look perfect on the outside. They don't realize the importance of failure that we've talked about today. They don't realize that it takes making something messy and something that we don't like to keep growing and discovering, and that it's great. It's great to make something messy that you don't like. But we have this practice of non-judgment and self-compassion, and we notice that our students will start to support each other as they notice other students becoming critical.